Doug Baldwin, wideout for the Seahawks. Thank you so much for joining us here on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. We just heard you explain the reason why you all decided to protest. Tell me, how did you guys decide that you would do the interlock as opposed to taking a knee?
It was a conversation that we had as a team. You know, we spent a lot of time on it, a lot of brain power, a lot of brain hours trying to figure out what we wanted to do. We came up with the decision that whatever we did, we were going to do it as a team. And so that's what we decided on, and obviously that's what we did on Sunday.
Oh, you were very clear in saying you have a voice. Now listen to the message. What's your message?
That there are things in our country that need to change. You know, the reason why we are such a great country is because we've never been afraid of change. You know, and obviously change is inevitable, but we've been able to apply direction to that change, and we've been able to progress. And so we have to continue to do that. You know, just like the messages that we've seen across the league in different fashions, there is something that needs to be heard, and we need people to listen to it. We need the right people who can come forward and help us make change and put the pieces in place so that this change can come to fruition.
If Colin Kaepernick hadn't decided to voice his opinion on why he sat during the anthem, do you think we'd be having this conversation, this national conversation right now? Absolutely not.
And that's one of the things that I appreciate about what Colin did. He took the hits. You know, he took the first step, and leadership is sometimes about going first and taking the brunt of the force, and he did that. And now we're having this conversation, and so fortunately enough, we can continue the conversation and carry the torch further, so that, like I said, we can see the changes come to fruition.
Your teammate Michael Bennett has said on many occasions he feels that others should also be a part of this conversation, namely players, high-profile players of different races, help spread the message. Do you agree with him?
Without a doubt. I think athletes have a very powerful voice in our communities and across the country. You know, yes, we've got some very powerful and very popular political figures that are in place, but the athletes themselves have the opportunity to reach the kids. And that's really what our target is, you know, we might not see the promised land in our lifetime, but in order to affect change, we have to affect the kids. We have to let them know that any human being who's next to them on this planet is just another human being, and they should love them and appreciate them and respect them as such. And so we might not get through to all the adults, but the people that are going to matter in the future are our children, and that's what's going to make a better place, not only for our children, but also for our grandchildren.
When you and your teammates decided to come up with your method of protest, what did your coach say, the front office? What did they have to say?
Nothing, really. They kind of let us just hash it out. I will say that they were very instrumental in giving us time and spending the resources and effort towards allowing us to do that. We spent a whole hour during a team meeting. Typically, when we'd be focused just on football, Pete Carroll did. He gave us a whole hour just to discuss it. And, you know, thankful for that, because we were able to reach the conclusion in which we did in a unified front, and it gave us the opportunity to discuss that in an open forum.
That's very fair. Doug, if you could do me a favor and just stand by for just a few moments. I'm going to bring in Keyshawn Johnson. I'm going to ask him to join in on this conversation. Key, I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this, but I know you were very vocal when you were in the league. Would you have been a part of the protest and the message?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime something like this can unite your country, your community, anything, and bring something to fruition and open up the eyes of people around you, you're definitely going to jump on the table. I mean, for sure, 100%.
Any questions for Doug?
Well, I guess, you know, yeah, I have a question for you, Doug. First off, congratulations on your victory on Sunday. And Kerry kind of touched up on this a little bit. What is the message that you want the people to listen to? And after they hear that message, where do you go from there?
Well, first and foremost, we have to acknowledge that, yes, there are social injustices that exist in our society. And if you're one of the people who refuse to believe the claims that your fellow Americans are stating, this message is not intended for you. You know, the message is for the people that want to hear the claims, that want to listen, that want to understand, and who are willing to move the needle in the direction that we need it to go. And what you can do is start having that conversation, and start teaching your children to be self-aware and to listen to other people's perspectives. The greatest tragedy for any human being is to go out through their entire lives and think that their perspective is the only perspective that matters. And so right now, I'm asking people to listen to other people's perspectives while we put the tools together and while we build the resources to have processes and protocols in place for different things that we want to go or put on throughout our communities.
Understood.
Doug Baldwin, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate your candor here this morning on SportsCenter Coast to Coast.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Tony, I'll send it to you.